Infinite, we wanted to be absolutely world-class experience. I wanted it to be one of the best PC games available.
Currently, according to Reddit, the Sniper has negative aim assist, specifically on mouse and keyboard. On Sniper, M and K, the no-scope, the game actively pushes the reticle away. You can see how the reticle mostly only touches the outlines, but can never be held on the target. This seems to occur when the enemy is strafing. Oh! Huh? Is this real, or is this guy like fucking with me or something? It pushes you away. What? Is this real? Yeah, we'll go test it. I think it's happening. Yeah, I think it's happening. Like, unless my aim is really bad. Yeah, whoa! Yeah, dude, yeah, look at this. I'm not doing this. I swear. I promise you, I'm not even lying. This is literally... I'm trying to put my fucking crosshair in the middle of them, but I can't.
With Halo Infinite, this is the first time that we're releasing the game on console and PC the same day and date, which is super exciting. Importantly though, we're not just shipping a port of the console game on day one. We really are building it from the ground up to be a great game for PC players who love to customize the experience the way that they want to.
The quirk of Halo Infinite is there's actually no exclusive full screen mode, so it's either windowed or borderless full screen. By opting for the latter, we had to use the resolution scale slider to actually adjust resolution for our testing today. The quirk then is that on my 4K monitor, it's not actually possible to set an exact 1440p resolution. Instead, we had to go for a 67% render scale or 2573 by 1447. Basically, any AMD GPU I tested with 8GB of VRAM or less would show significant drops in performance after the first benchmark run. If I booted the game up from fresh, everything looks as expected. As soon as I quit back to the main menu and reloaded my save, however, performance would tank, as you can see here. This happened on every single AMD GPU I tested with 8GB or less VRAM.
We wanted to go out the gate, like immediately, with the best set of options that we could have in the settings menus, from control options, graphics options, audio options, accessibility options.
You can actually set like a minimum FPS. So you can say I want 60 to be my minimum FPS. So you can choose, oh, I want it to run faster, but maybe not look quite as pretty, or like, no, give me the prettiest experience possible. I don't care about the frames, right?
But perhaps you are like me, and you have just loaded up the multiplayer beta, and you might have noticed that something was not right performance-wise, even in the menu itself. See, Halo Infinite renders a real 3D background in its menu where your graphical options affect the presentation of that real 3D background. It's a smart way for people to get a quick understanding of what the graphical options do. But I noticed immediately because of this that there's a flaw in how Halo Infinite by default presents its performance to the user. 60 FPS for a 60Hz screen, for example, or 120 for a 120Hz screen, and so on and so forth. So what do I have a problem with exactly? Well, I found that the DRS really only works well on a VSync display if you're using the in-game VSync. So to effectively use dynamic res, which I would love to recommend as I find it an extremely effective tool in this game to get minimal quality loss at moments while keeping the frame rate up, well, you need to use the internal VSync, and the internal VSync induces stuttering. I don't find that a very great situation. Thankfully though, the other settings in the game all seem to work like they're supposed to and offer nice performance and visual scaling should you want to make optimized settings like I'm going to do in this video. One curious advantage I found in the PC version. As John noted in his Series X video, multiple objects in the game world, as well as player weapons and hands, have a jiggly swirly appearance in the open world, perhaps due to a precision issue. On PC, this is much lessened in direct side-by-sides in the same areas of the game world, curiously. I'm not sure why this is, but maybe VRS being on Xbox has some knock-on effects with this precision issue. Here's where things get rather rough in Halo Infinite. Based on my testing using the optimized settings at 720p, you need a rather beefy CPU to get stellar performance in Halo Infinite's open world when traversing through it. As this footage shows, a Ryzen 5 3600 is having some big frame time issues when driving around through the world, with many being above 16.6 milliseconds, something that the Core i9-10900K has much less of, but even then there are a number of incidents where that CPU would also see stutter drops below 60 FPS momentarily due to the CPU. So getting a perfect 120 FPS, for example, in the open world in this game would require something better than a 10900K, so set your expectations accordingly for this game.
The teams have all worked together to bring a mega low latency experience.
You need to make sure that you're set up to be able to deliver the lowest latency experience regardless of the configuration that someone's running.
Our latency is some of the lowest in the industry.
With Halo Infinite, 343 Industries revisited how our tools operate. We had to create an engine that was more powerful for next-generation development, but also more nimble, so that creatives and engineers are able to work more easily and iterate faster.
And the reason our latency is as low as it is they built this cool thing. It's a mouse with like a little light on it.
So that when you click the mouse, the LED flashes red, and then we use high frame rate cameras to capture the game window and the mouse in the same frame, and then there we have true end-to-end latency. There's another first for Halo is launching across a family of consoles, and so how do we make our game scale down to Xbox One or a PC that's kind of equivalent to an Xbox One, but scale up to a Series X and whatever PC someone has that's better than a Series X and the PCs in the future.
This is my original Xbox One, and I have a lot of fond memories with this box. It's been sitting in my closet the last couple of years, even though I've had it for 7 or 8. It's time to dust it off and check out Halo Infinite multiplayer on it and see what the experience is like. Starting with the visuals, it's actually pretty respectable in my opinion. I half expected going into this to really run into a rough time. And visually, while it's not winning any awards, it's better than what I had anticipated. One big thing that jumped out at me, and you'll see it in some of the clips today, is some very big inconsistent frame pacing issues. When you get a lot of explosions on screen with multiple enemies, there can be big slowdowns and moments where aiming feels pretty delayed and inconsistent. And that's got to be the most frustrating part, is when you feel like you need to move your crosshair onto an opponent, but it hitches due to the frame pacing having, not a consistent outflow. Not amazing, and I understand that this probably is a scary venture. I mean, do you think they're going to continue supporting the original Xbox One for the next 10 years of this game's journey? Maybe so. Maybe they can. Is it, holding back the development processes they could be pushing? Maybe so.
We want the experience to be as interoperable as it possibly can be. So you should be able to play how you want to play, whenever you want to play, on whichever platform you want to play, and it should work.
When you're making a competitive game and it's on PC, you need anti-cheat.
Look directly at that player. It is. What are you shooting at? Yes! King! Go off! Go off, King!
That's all there is to it. It's got to happen.
Alright, so we're jumping off board with XRY. He is on Halo Infinite and he's playing with Yes I'm Cheating 43. I did go on the Waypoint website and report him, but it seems like you had to literally go on there and fill out an entire ticket just to report somebody. Which is kind of ridiculous to me. So he's not even hitting shots. He's completely missing. This dude had 12 perfects this game, by the way.
Power items on the field. Not much ammo left, Spartan.
Isn't the best right now, but it should get him banned if a few of us go on there and we report him. Look at this.
Triple kill. Perfect.
We made a commitment early on that we don't want to have any complex DRM or anything that's going to inhibit a player's ability to play the way they want to play. And we want to respect players' privacy, especially legitimate players' privacy, right? You know, we're going to continue to evolve it into whatever is necessary and whatever our players need to have a fair experience.
How do people actually cheat? I don't understand how that works. Asking for a friend. Just go to, what is it, halocheats.net or something? Just literally buy it for like $5, install the program, and boot up Halo, and there you go.
We're going to be out the gate with crossplay between Steam, the Windows Store, all of the consoles, all of the Xbox consoles. It's amazing.
To try to make like controller and mouse and keyboard competitive with one another, it's hard. It kind of started to become clear, like the right thing to do is give them choice. We're gonna have a ranked controller hopper, we're gonna have a ranked mouse and keyboard hopper, and we will have a ranked crossplay hopper as well.
Halo Infinite has been having a cheating problem in the ranked playlist. Now, there is no way to turn off crossplay when you're in the game. However, on the Xbox, you can actually turn off crossplay for all your games very easily. So you have allow and block. Go to block. Now crossplay will be disabled. So quit out of Halo and then relaunch it.
We're doing something pretty awesome in Infinite. On the PC side, you can actually deploy a LAN server and host your own LAN parties.
Both PC and console within your house can connect to this local dedicated server.
There's also this local area network option on PC. Unfortunately, this actually doesn't work just yet. According to the devs, this is going to be activated on the 8th of December when the game fully launches. But right now, it doesn't work. You can select it, but it doesn't actually do anything.
Our integration with Steam, our integration with Discord, our integration with Xbox Live, those are a lot of moving pieces, and it all works seamlessly together. Open game bar, message a friend, tell them to join, ping another friend on Discord.
Hello, Kitten. It appears to me that you haven't been on Discord very recently. Daddy is getting displeased. I would appreciate a message if possible.
Ping another friend on Steam.
Gay Ben.
Pull all 3 of those people into a fire team and go play. Doesn't matter the platform. I think when PC players sit down with our game, they're gonna go, okay, this is made by PC players.
What is with Xbox? It's like, let's get you signed in. Then I sign in, and it's like, good job, let's get you signed in.
Unable to join. The request to join is timed out. Here we go again with all the fucking problems.
Again?
Again, nice.
Again?
Let's go. Again.
Again?
Again. Again.
Again?
Again.
You were unable to connect. You were unable to connect. Please try it, please.
Fuck! Servers are looking pretty good.
It's going to grow, it's going to evolve. We're gonna support it, we're gonna sustain it. We're gonna learn from our audience what they enjoy. We're gonna feed off of that and leverage that data and make decisions on what kind of content we deliver in the future. So it's really about it being a living, shared experience between us over in development and our community.
Reached out to Postums on the evening of 23rd about the problem. Now, I never saw a reply to this for quite a few hours. Really, it was about almost a day. But he continued to tweet from both his crypto account and his 343 account, while other players were reaching out to Postums as well, asking for a status for the servers of Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2. Now, that just kind of leads on to say, like, it seems to be that he was ignoring those messages or those people reaching out for assistance. Now, in these people's defense, there is no real official or easy way to ask for the status update for these games. You have to go on Halo support and file a ticket, and it's a really difficult and drawn-out process. And then they won't even look at your ticket for weeks at a time. So by the time you send that ticket, either the problem's been resolved or, you know, they've just moved on. And where I take an issue with this is that the role of these 343 community people are to interact with the community. And all I was asking for was a simple, hey, thanks for sending this to me. I'll go take a look at it. So I did make a tweet that vented my frustration. I quoted my original tweet reaching out to Postums, and I said, this is why I'm so upset with 343's handling of Halo Wars 2. The game has been unplayable. Radio silence from 343 community managers. Thanks for showing us how little you care about Halo Wars 2. I continued that conversation, and I said, you guys have previously said in the past that you would do better about notifying players of outages, but I've yet to see any real progress on this. Why is it so hard to let players know that it's suffering from an outage on Halo support? And that's a serious question. Here's what Postums replied to me. He said, hey, my friend, I wasn't aware this was down as I was paying attention to Russia bombing a country of innocent people and going through the emotional response of being a father and thinking about my son growing up in a world of war. I will be following up now on this. If you want my thoughts on this, I find this to be completely disrespectful both to the people who are suffering right now in Ukraine and to players who are asking for just a simple status update. This seems to be like almost like it was an excuse that he wasn't doing one of the roles that he's tasked with doing, which is to interact with the Halo community. And it also is really condescending and passive aggressive towards me individually, and I didn't like that either. And so I just said, I don't understand the link between Russia and Halo Wars 2. The game went down hours before this happened. I mean, can you imagine someone saying something like, you know, like a cook saying like, sorry, I didn't make your food. I was too worried about the invasion in Ukraine. Or, you know, a surgeon saying, sorry, I didn't do your surgery. You know, I'm too worried about Russia invading. I mean, the list can just go on and on about this. But it was one of those hollow apologies I didn't appreciate either. He said, sorry to all those who didn't like my reply. I was speaking my personal truth. I don't even know what that means, personal truth. It wasn't directed at any sort of particular person. It wasn't directed towards me, that apology. It wasn't directed towards players. And it wasn't directed towards these people who are suffering in Ukraine right now. So I just don't get it. And honestly, if you want my opinion, it seemed, I mean, that's like a really privileged tweet. I mean, dude works from home. I don't know why he blocked me on Twitter. I don't think I said anything that deserved to be blocked. He's also blocking like the entire Halo Wars 2 community as well, like any sort of players, the other content creators like Really Good Gaming, even Sir Liam. He's blocking all sorts of people that did not like his reply, which if you go to the tweet, which I'll put a link to down below, it is seemingly everyone doesn't like his reply. This blew up on the Halo subreddit. It was on track to be the most popular post in that r/Halo subreddit's history, but the mods took that post down. And there's been nothing from the other people in the Halo community 343 management team about this either. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of a company where really they have a team of people whose job it is to interact with the Halo community and the players. And instead what they do is they talk down on them, they block them, They shadow ban them. They do everything they can to kind of just pretend they don't even exist.
I think as a PC developer, what gets us excited is knowing that we're going to be on a journey with our players on PC. That is, their setup evolves, their hardware evolves. As they identify issues for us, it's going to be a really lively conversation back and forth.
It has been brought to my attention that the other day during one of Ace's streams, he was playing with Dursky, and both him and Dursky had a little something to say about one of my videos. The video they were talking about was my hit detection video. Now right now I'm going to play the video so that you guys can see what Ace and Dursky had to say about my video. So let's get right into it.
Are you watching the blackout clip?
Right here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
First he's hugging the wall.
I know.
Not near a wall. You're in the wall.
Doesn't even get boom.
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 It's just, that's how they are.
Boom.
You could kind of hear Ace and Dursky giggling in the background and talking shit, and it's pretty fucked up because they're both public figures. Ace is a huge Halo pro and has been for many years, and Dursky used to be a Halo pro and he's currently employed by 343 Industries.
This is why people don't like Halo 3. It's because they're trash.
I fully understand that companies talk shit about clients and customers all the time, but Dursky, bro, you're on a live stream with hundreds of viewers, and you're laughing at a guy who's trying to make a difference.
The point I was trying to make in this video about the Bloodshots was that you'll have players standing out in the open, like this guy on the pit, and I'm getting a bloodshot on him.
17,000 views.
I know. I had people coming to me like, yeah, can you watch this video and this guy's shot registration shit? I was like, yeah, sure, let me see it. And I just started laughing literally, like, out loud at work. Just laughing.
Somebody at work showed you this?
Yeah, somebody was like, yeah, you should look into Halo 3 shot registration. I was like,
when was that?
Like, in, like, February.
So let me get this right. Somebody at work showed you my video and told you that you should look into the Halo 3 hit detection on MCC, and you just laughed it off. You just laughed it off as if it's not a real fucking issue.
One of the things that we're going to try and do is have a much more open dialogue with the community.
One word for you.
And we'll continue to bring support to PC players down the line as part of our seasonal experience. I think it's going to be a fun journey for all of us.